And joining me now is Nik Nanos, founder and chief data scientist at Nanos Research. Nik, thank you as always, sir, for joining us.
Good to see you, Roger.
All right, let's look at some of the numbers, talking about what the Prime Minister, the pressure he's facing right now. Let's compare some numbers from the last election in 2021 and the gains made by the PC since then. Surprising?
Well, it really puts everything into clarity, Roger. Looking at the numbers compared to the last election, the Conservatives are at 41%. They're up a full 8 percentage points since the last federal election in 2021. The Liberals are at 27. They're down almost 6 points. New Democrats at 18 or thereabouts. They're flat, as is the Bloc at 8. Green Party up a little bit. People's Party down 3 points to 2%. But, the key takeaway here, Roger, is that when we measure up against the last federal election in 2021, it's just bad news for the Liberals and good news for the Conservatives.
And and there's no signs of that slowing down. It's been steady gains, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And, this by-election in Toronto, St. Paul's, ay, 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 ay. Like,
I don't think that's the Mexican
liberal
song you're singing.
Yeah, exactly. And, for all of our Mexican viewers, thumbs up. But, the reality is that, the Liberals were, in the last election, won this by 24 points. They ended up losing it by a couple points. And this, I think what's shocked the Liberals is that there was a full court press. Major cabinet ministers went in. There were volunteers. There was money. They threw everything into this by-election in order to hold on to the riding. And the Conservatives managed to pull out a squeaker.
And I mean, the Conservative candidate there didn't even give an interview during the entire campaign.
Yeah, Roger, maybe it's a little precursor to what to expect from the next federal election. Maybe Pierre Poilievre is just going to zip it and let people focus on the Liberals and basically ride a wave of change. Because you know what? The Conservatives didn't do a lot of media during the campaign in the by-election.
Yeah.
It didn't hurt them.
No, not at all. And speaking of the leaders, of course, what is it? Sun Tzu said, never let your opponent stop making a mistake, right? Let them keep going.
Yeah.
So, Prime Minister, how are we looking with Poilievre and Trudeau?
Still not great. You can see the long-term trend line. There's been a bit of downward pressure on the preferred prime minister numbers for Pierre Poilievre, but he still has a 12-point advantage, 36-24. Don't know outpaces Jagmeet Singh, 16-13. But, you look at the ballot numbers, you look at the preferred prime minister numbers, you look at Toronto St. Paul's. Roger, Justin Trudeau has been dropped into a political shark tank, right? People are starting to, it's kind of like the Liberals, bumping into him and stuff like that, with the, with the shark. They start off by bumping, and then someone takes a bite. We have former cabinet minister Catherine McKenna, saying that it's time for a leadership change. John Manley, now a caucus member. It's just not great for Justin Trudeau right now.
Well, and I mean, realistically for the Liberals, I think if they want to have any hope of changing anything, now would be the time. But the election's still a long way away. Let's take a look at the power index. What are we talking about with the Liberals and Conservatives on that?
Yeah, I like the power index, Roger, because it rolls up ballot support, accessible voters, leadership, and stuff like this. Check out the trend line for the Liberals under Justin Trudeau. You can see they score 43.5. That's on a 100-point scale. But, the thing is you look back at 2015, Roger, they're up to 70 points on the scale. So there's been a significant decline in the brand equity and brand power of the Liberals over the last number of years. But, when you look at the Conservatives, pretty decent numbers, Under Pierre Poilievre, he's at 52.7. And, that's as high as it was under Andrew Scheer, where there's a time when Andrew Scheer was doing really well, or under Stephen Harper, the previous Conservative prime minister.
What's a good number for that power index?
I would say a good number is anything over 50, because you're into positive territory. When you're under 50, it's basically more people don't think you're doing a good job. So even for the Conservatives at 52.7, not super good, but it is what it is.
All right. Nik, thank you as always, sir. Love your insight.
Take it easy, Roger.
Nik Nanos is founder and chief data scientist at Nanos Research.